just a second, folks. And we are, I'm going to show the chart. Yep, give me just a second. Give me just a second and I will show the chart. Stand by, please. Okay, I got to make sure I get the right one. What's up, dog? What's up, Chris? Looking to see how folks do the first time. Yeah, that's a great question. Hold on here, guys. I'm getting ready to share that screen. Share screen. There it is, folks. So there it is. Just making sure. Okay, so making sure everything is okay with that. Okay, we are live on YouTube, folks. So everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you guys see the chart now? Do you guys see the chart? You should. Okay, very good, very good. And again, we're live on YouTube right now. So what's up, YouTube? So it'll be recorded also. All right, folks. Let's go back to the beginning of the day. What trades do you guys want to talk about today? Any trade? All trades are, we'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I mean, we had just a blistering, beautiful move back to the upside, nice move to the downside. So there were plays. Yeah, I didn't take anything until I took a double cross to the upside. Thought we were going to keep on pushing up. We didn't. Took a loss right there. Took a play back to the downside. That was a nice little play. And I took a play back to the upside later on basically a fishtail play to the upside with a target. So yeah. That is what I did today. How about you guys? What you guys got? And we had a lot of really, really bad price action in between, guys. So essentially 1135 through 1400. So a long time of really, really bad price action, guys. Bad, bad, bad. What's up, Matt? Good to see you. Good to see you. So Matt, we are recording directly to YouTube. So you can check YouTube right now. We are live, so we're on YouTube Live, and it will record also. So, and I will put a link in when we are done for the evening. So yeah, perfect entry at 204 above VWAP. Oh, that's that 55 you were looking for, isn't it? Let's look at 204. She's gonna go 1404. There it is. I got it right here, man. 1404. And break the previous resistance, but poor execution. Oh, okay. So you were supposed to cut at 215. Okay, right here. And didn't cut until 315. So right in here. So you're in at 04, 1404. So what kept you in that trade? Let me ask you that, dog. What kept you in that trade? And you probably did okay on the trade. I mean, maybe a little bit better than break even, I would imagine. That would be my guess. Hope and hold. You got stuck. Yeah, so if we look at basically 1416 through when it broke, oh my God, that was agonizing. That was just agonizing in here. And I remember I was watching contracts because I was looking for a play. I was looking for a play in there. Just if we had something off of a major level. Almost took it off of pre-market high a couple of different times, but I said, nope, I'm just going to hold on. But yeah, the perfect entry. You got your perfect entry. Your entry is very, very important. I mean, there's really nothing more important than entries. Get your entries, and the exits become a heck of a lot easier. I will tell you that right now. So yeah, get better every day. Sold at 54 and watched it go to 132. Oh, and it can't be about the money. It absolutely cannot be about the money. But it's about the execution, and you just don't feel like you did well on your execution. And I totally understand that. I totally get it. When you make it about the execution, It's all about the execution. That's what it's all about. Phil 50, yeah. Oh, wow. Holy smokes. Okay. Yeah, you know what? It happens. What's up, Nemo? Good to see you. Peter JW. 11:24, 11:31, 11:24, 11:31, 11:24, 11:31. Oh, nice. I like 11:24 to 11:31. Right in here. So yeah, 11:34, 11:24, 11:24. So right in here. So we had a fresh cross to the upside, and you did breach that level of resistance, and then got out at 31. Nice play, man. Above the Sadie call line. Yeah, it was absolutely above the Sadie call line. And that level, that Sadie call line was 621.74. So let's look at that 621.74 right in here. I like it. 621.74. Good, good, good. Okay, so let's talk about that. So the question is, after that, after the initial move up, what prevented me from entering a trade back to the downside? Well, I think before we talk about that, we'll talk about the loss and why I took this trade. I took this trade, double cross to the ups. It's an uptrending market, double cross to the upside through R3. So that was it. On a little pullback, again, found support, pushed to the upside. What kept me from putting on the trade after that was I could have put it on here at 1016 and this big volume, but I was too far away at that point from any kind of major level for me to put it on. Hey, Mark, what's happening? I don't like the first cross to the downside unless it's a really, really super strong supply zone, or the first move back to the upside unless it's a really, really super strong demand zone. So that's what kept me out of it. So I left, I didn't execute, so nothing more to be said about it because I just didn't, my setup wasn't there. I'm looking for something very, very specific and it wasn't there, so I didn't put it on. Yep. I like things, I'm looking for something very specific, and if it happens, great. If it doesn't, nope. Does that make sense? Does that make sense there, Nemo? He was kind of chopping in here. Chop, 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 up and down, up and down. And, you can look at, so if all we're seeing is this right here, you're welcome. If this is all we're seeing, this is one of the bigger candles of the day at that point. So 23, well, I mean, it kind of topped out 23.92. This is about a 55 or a 60 cent candle right in here, one of the bigger candles of the day. If you're looking at this right here, you can say, okay, how far am I away from a major level? We got a major level right here. How long am I into this particular trade? Because that's a big deal. I like to be 2 or 3 minutes into the origination of the trade when I put mine on, only because I've done all the testing on that and it works the best. If it's like 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes into the trade before you get your signal, I'm not going to put it on. I'm just not going to do it. And whatever happens after that, and you can watch it go bye-bye all day long. But I'm looking for something very, very specific, and it works for me. So there you go. There you go. Jared, what's up? What's up? What's up? And I know other people, not everybody trades like me, and that's fine. 10:04 to 10:31. 10:04 to 10:31. Right in here. 10:04. That's when I was getting out of that trade. Yeah, I was getting out right in here, man. So yeah, so 10:04, you breach back to 10:31. Great trade again, man. You've had a couple of those lately, Code. You had 2 yesterday and 1 today. Just absolute bangers, man. Yep. And again, I was in calls, and yeah. But anyway, excellent execution the last couple of days. Pete, what's up, Pete? And again, we're recording directly to YouTube tonight, folks. So we are on YouTube live. I don't know if anybody's watching that or not. I can check it real quick just to see. 4 are watching. Hey, what's up, YouTube watchers? 4 are watching. Yeah. Peace. All right, 1554, 15. Oh, a 20-second. Oh, man, I love it. 1554. Let's get there. 1554. And again, YouTube land. We're doing trade reviews right now. 1554. Oh, man. Right in here. Oh, 20-second. Look at that. 1554, 1554 in 20 seconds. Boom. 20%. You're kind of traded out as soon as the wick started forming. You've got to do that late in the day, man. You've got to do that late in the day. So really, really nice. It's nice 20% trade in less than a minute. Yeah, you got to take that one. Excellent trade, my friend. Excellent trade. And if you would have held that thing for one more minute, you would have gone. It would have gone the other way, only because of theta. So yeah, good trade, my friend. Good trade. Who else has a trade that you guys would like to talk about? Talk about any trades you guys want to talk about, whether it worked out or not. Whether it worked out or not, we'll talk about those trades. And again, folks, it's all about your edge. If your edge presents itself, put on the trade. No edge, no trade. Edge trade, no edge, no trade. Same thing as always. Same thing as always. So Jason, what do you got? You got anything, Matt? And by the way, Matt, I did put I put the chart pick in the daily chart picks, so that is there. I forgot yesterday. And I would say, is anybody having a hard time? I'm going to try something real quick. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to close the chat. I didn't get that chat button last time, so I'm going to leave it just like it is, folks. We talk about this slop down here. It was absolute, just really, really bad. Bad, bad, bad. What do you got there, Mark? $10.42, $10.20, $10.42, $10.49, $10.42, $10.49, $10.42. Ooh, on the recapture. It's got to be on the recapture. It was $10.42 right in here. I like it. To $10.49. Nice trade. Nice trade, my friend. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. So $10.42. Let's look at that $10.42 again. The reason behind that. Yeah, it was a recapture back to the downside, it looks like. Okay, I like it. You got out of that space, you got out of that fishtail, then pushed back to the downside. Just got back on, you see the YouTube question. I did not see the YouTube question. What was the YouTube question? And I'll get that YouTube question here in just a second. 1106 to 1109, 1106 to 1109. Ah, that's my same trade I was in, my friend. Same trade, close of 1106 to 1109. The one that I held, yes. So that was really, really, I was super close to closing out that trade because it really started to move against us pretty bad. I like the execution on the 1106, and I understand taking yourself out at 1109. I was really, 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 really close to taking myself out. But I know I had that line. I had that, what is that line? That 621.79. I know I had that major line right there. And another one directly above. And again, that's it. Big Bass Jeff nailed it. If you followed your rule, congratulations. Seriously. I mean, that's it right there, guys. And I talked about this a little bit earlier. We need to change the vernacular from being wrong about the trade. As long as we follow our rule or our rules, we're not wrong about the trade. It just didn't work out. So I mean, that's it. Matt33, can you talk about using at the money SPY versus out of the money SPX? Yes, I can talk about that. So here's it all depends. It depends. Oh, I got to get that 1047 to 1101. 1047 to 1101. Nice little scalp back to the downside. There it is, 1047 to 1101. Yeah, man, another good trade. Another good trade. Good job. Good job. So 1047 was again that recapture back to the downside off of the 20. Off of the 20 and through yesterday's high. So really, really nice trade, my friend. There it is right there on a recapture. Okay, so it's bounced off the line on the 20. It was. We like the 20 bounce. Generally good for one or two after that. Leave it alone. So at the money SPY. So when we're talking about, generally when we're talking about a SPY at the money or in the money, what we're talking about is something, a SPY contract with a delta of 0.5. So essentially what you get is on a delta of 0.5 delta, if SPY moves $1, then you're going to get about 50 cents worth of action for your contract, or $50, or right around in there, depending on how fast it gets there. If it gets there quickly, you got that value. If it takes a little bit of time, theta's working against you also. If you are presently doing the 20 trade challenge, do not trade SPX under any set of circumstances. So here is the reason, and I like SPX contracts out of money. You know, if you're really loading up on those, you know, late in the day or even early in the day, and you get a good signal to do that. The problem with going with SPX, that's an inexpensive contract that's way out of the money. So let's say your SPY contract is $100. It's got a 0.5 delta, and you have an SPX contract that is $100, but it has a, let's say, a 0.10 delta. Here's what's going to happen. Every now and again, it's going to take off, and you're going to do very well, and you're going to make a lot of money on that $100 SPX contract. As a matter of fact, you'll probably make more on that SPX contract than you would on the SPY contract. But when it moves against you, it's going to move against you really hard because it doesn't have a really high delta. But at the same time, if you are doing the 20 trade challenge and you're just thinking, you know what, I can buy a $100 SPY contract or that SPX contract, don't do it, because it will give you a false sense of security. Again, we move up, we start with those inexpensive SPY contracts, and then move up in the options chain, move up to that 0.5 delta, and then start adding to your position. Now, SPY and SPX definitely. Yeah, so one SPX contract is essentially the equivalent of 10 SPY contracts if they both have that same delta. So 0.5 SPY contract, yeah. Oh, by percentage? No, you're going to get the same percentage. But you're on the delta, on your delta, you'll get the same percentage. But if you have different deltas, you won't get the same percentage. They will be wildly different. But there have been times in the past where I've traded several spots out of the money and loaded up on contracts on SPX and did very well because I had a really strong signal. I wanted the leverage. So, but it just depends on where you are in your trading journey. If you're well into your trading journey and you trade SPY contracts, multiple SPY contracts without any trouble, then yeah, I would say all day long, go with that inexpensive SPX contracts and load it up. Early trade 1106, would you have closed if you didn't have the line of zone at 621.90? Let's talk about that. Yeah, so it was so close. You had that 621. We had 621.90. And directly below that, we had that level. So that level was 621.79. So on this particular trade, I had multiple levels of stop directly above me. So again, you got the double cross to the downside on an otherwise downtrending market through a couple of different levels, or a couple of different levels above me. And I knew that I had support directly below 621.43, but it was downtrending, so I figured I would take it. My stop, I had that stop. I mean, I had multiple, and I'm not going to, just like I didn't, adjust my stop earlier. I mean, that was my absolute positively 100% 621.90. You have to take yourself out of that trade if it hits that level. Hold on here 1 second. Okay. All right. So yeah. And so it's hypothetical for me to say I could always use the ignition candle. So the candle that got me in, the open of that candle could also, if it's good enough to get you in, it'll be bad enough to take you out, right? Same type thing. Same type thing. All right. And somebody asked a question on YouTube. I don't know what it was. Um, oof, let me look. I'll see if I can see it. Let's see. Candle could also, if it's good enough to get you in, it'll be bad enough to take you out, right? Same type thing. Same type thing. Yeah, I don't know. Right. And somebody asked a question on YouTube. I don't know what it was. Oof. Let me look. I'll see. Oh, quick question. There we go. We talk about major levels. Let's say we take a trade from there across to the opposite side, but still above a marked level. Would you wait for the breach? Yes. Yeah, generally, Amon just asked a question right now on YouTube, and I'm responding to that. His question was, and I'm doing well, Amon. He said, quick question. When we talk about major levels, let's say we take a call trade from there, but it crosses to the opposite side. We talk about major levels. Let's say we take a trade from there across to the opposite side. Yeah, you got to wait for the breach. Yes. Wait for generally the level to breach. It just depends. If you've seen my video on the 4 different types of setups within the overall strategy, when we talk about major levels, let's say we take there's your answer. You always want it to be at that major level. We talk about major levels. Let's say we take a trade from there across. That's my answer, my friend. Keep in mind, there's a 20-second delay. Yes, I saw that when I was answering the question. But yes, Amon, thank you very much for the question. Yeah, major levels generally, okay, I say only because that's for me. Yeah, major levels only, and then wait for confirmation. 920 cross, double cross, you can take a fishtail, whatever type of trade you're trying to take. Just make sure you preset or predefine that risk. All right, who else wants to talk about a trade? What do you got? What do you got? We got what do you got? Peter, Jared, or Michael, or Jeff? D-Dog, Jason, Matt. We got 2 Matts in here. Mark or Pete, what do you got? Anybody want to talk about more trades? And again, yeah. Nope. All right, Michael. All right, Jared, just being a good white belt. Oh, nice. Being a good white belt. You know what? Every black belt starts out as a white belt. Yep, they do. They absolutely do. If we're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we got to go white. We got to go blue, purple, brown, and black. Not very many belts, but it takes a while to get there. So, yeah. I never got there. Enjoyed my time doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Never got there. It was an awful lot of fun. A lot of fun. Matt, there's my Canadian buddy. We have 3 Matts in the house tonight, folks. We have Matt, my Canadian buddy. We have Matt M and Matt 337. So good day, eh? How's it going, eh? Hopefully you said hi to Bob and Doug McKenzie earlier. Haha. 15, 16 entry. I sat back down my desk immediately, knew you were into that. Oh, 15, 16. Yeah, let's go to 15, 16. I was looking for it. Okay, so I actually took a fishtail play on that. 15, 15, close of 15, 15, and it's the same thing. I told everybody before I got into the trade exactly what I was looking for, and it set up. So the setup was there, and I took it. It's like the shot was there, so I took it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah. We're all white belts or green, we feel, but yeah. That is so true, Code. That is absolutely true. You know the difference between a black belt and a white belt? What is the difference? What is it? What is the difference between a black belt and a white belt? Eagle. There's something very, very specific that the black belt did that the white belt did not do. Time. The black belt didn't quit. The black belt never quit. The black belt, I will promise you, as a new practitioner of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 11 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. I got banged up. I broke toes, fingers, not a big deal. I broke my wrist. I broke ribs. I had contusions every single day. Me. Oh, yeah, me. But it was an awful, it doesn't matter how big you are. It matters not. I remember the first, maybe, I think it was the first time that I ever went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I rolled with a professor. His name's Pete Wilhelm. Triton Fight Center in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And I remember I was in his guard. And this is what, almost verbatim, what I said to him. I said, if I was able to roll you over and put you in a rear naked choke, and I outweighed this guy by a whole bunch, and I had combat, Brazilian. I had combat experience wrestling when I was younger, and coaching wrestling for years and years and years. But I said, if I were to do this, would that be okay? And he said, you can try anything you want. And in about 6 seconds, he just smiled and just about put me to sleep. So, yeah, but the black belt's the white belt that never quit. You can't quit. This is trading is the most difficult, easy money that you will ever, ever, ever make in your life, period. It's the most difficult, easy money you will ever make in your life. But you can't quit. That's why it is critically, critically, critically important that you start super, super small. Now you can paper trade. Paper trade means absolutely nothing because there's no real money. You don't get realistic fills, and there's no emotions involved if you don't have real money on the table. Once you start putting any kind of money on the table at all, you get real emotions. But you want to be able to afford it long enough. You don't want to bankrupt yourself. You don't want to blow up account after account after account after account trying to get it. You start with a $10 contract or a $5 or a $1 or whatever, a super, super, super inexpensive contract that has real money on the line, but you're learning. And eventually you get better and you get better and you get better and you get better. But these changes in skill, they happen slowly over time. But at the same time, you get these big aha moments. You get aha moments along the way. It's like, I got it. And so you learn that, and then you get another one, and then you get another one. So you're stacking all of these things on top of each other. And it's beautiful. There's literally nothing in the world that's better than seeing your progress. There's nothing. There's nothing in the world that's better, guys. There's nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. There's absolutely nothing. So keep on going, folks. You can't quit. You can't quit. Trade's such a small position that it doesn't matter. If 20 trades in a row go against you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt your account. That's how small you need to trade. And then you build it up over time. So let's say it takes you a year and a half, 2 years, starting super, super small to get to SPX. Are you okay with that? Again, it's process. We got to get better with the process. The process leads to bigger and better things. It's process, process, process. And again, it's those aha moments.
Yeah, you got to wait for.
Yeah, let's see if I have any more questions. Hey, there's my daughter. Just said hi, Pop.
It's process. We got to get better with the process.
She just
the
said
process
hi, Pop.
leads
What's
to
up?
bigger and better things.
And she
It's
just text
process,
messaged me
process,
too.
process.
Nah,
And again,
that's
it's
awesome.
those aha
That is
moments.
awesome.
Yeah, you got.
I assume it's great. A lot of talent. It isn't just 9. Exactly. It's not just 920. We got traders. We got other traders that trade differently. Yeah, we do. And it's not just about it's about the psychology of not just trading, but the psychology of life. You know, I've said this a million times, and I think it bears repeating. You can't be one kind of a person and another kind of a trader. You just can't. If there are areas in your life that you lack, in which you lack discipline, it will come through in your trading. It will absolutely come through in your trading. Trading will shine a light on every deficiency in your life. And if we can use trading as a vehicle to be the best person that we can possibly be, what is better than that? There's nothing better than that, guys. We're doing such good things. Such good things in our lives. So, yeah. Anyway. Well, thank you, Jared. I appreciate that very, very much. And you know what? There are times when I missed a really, really nice setup yesterday. I just missed it. I don't feel like I missed anything today because my setup wasn't here early. My setup wasn't here in here. I don't feel like I missed anything. I wasn't going to take this, just getting out of those puts. I would like to see more people in here also. And I think moving forward, we will. I'm working on some things right now. I had to, and I'm not using this as an excuse, but I had to get the bot fixed, the membership bot, and it's finally fixed. It took way too long to get it fixed, but it's finally fixed. So I'll just tell you real quick what the membership bot does. The membership bot assigns a 7-day free trial. And I had that bot built. And after that, they go back to a green member where they really don't see a whole lot. But it was not, I had to get it fixed. So I couldn't really do anything from a growth standpoint until I got that fixed. Because I was doing everything manually. So anyway. But that's fixed. So we got big things in store, folks. Big things, and you guys are OGs. So be transferred to exam, same call. Okay. Cut early, which had me down. To the exact same call. And cut it early, which had me down. Seeing the market go up and then down the way it did create a lot of FOMO. I just had to walk away. I know myself and was bound more mistakes. Pete. It will send me an alert, but it won't wake me up. So what was the trade, Jared? What trade are you talking about? Which trade are you talking about? The one that the exact same one that I took. You're talking about the late day or the early day? Very early. Yeah, I remember because we were talking. Yeah. And it does create FOMO. It does. FOMO is a real thing. And I have to, guys, when you hear me say things like, you know what, it's natural to want to jump into trades. It is natural to want to jump into trades that they're going, and you're like, I know I can't. But you want to. You want to. So, you know, when we miss a trade, we miss a trade. There are plenty of trades out there available to us, guys. But if we miss it, we miss it. If a trade sneaks up on you, it isn't for you. Exactly. Guys, you will. That's one of the main reasons why I talk about the trades before they happen. And in a lot of cases, it's multiple minutes before the trade happens that I'm talking about it. So I'm seeing my setup is happening. So Yeah, and then I pull the trigger when whatever I'm looking for to happen happens. I pull the trigger. But Pete, by the way, you don't have to send me a DM on here. You can always send me a text message. So yeah, and that won't wake me up either. I have my phone on silent, plus my CPAP machine. Oh, hold on here a second. I have to say hi to my granddaughter. Hey, Flapjack, what are you doing, kid? It's so good to see you. Flapjack, your mommy just sent me a picture, and that was really, really cool. So, hi, Jack. Hi, Jack. That's my granddaughter. She's about 2.5, so she's pretty cool. So, hi, Jack. There you go, kid. Hey, CMP, what's happening? I do go to sleep early, Pete. I go to sleep early so I can get up early and go to the gym. I'm doing great. How are you? It's so good to see you. Any tests to define a red trade for everyone here. How many percent of you guys consider to trying to not melt in the heat? Yeah, I know. Atlanta's pretty hot right now. Define a red trade for everyone here. How many percent do you guys consider a red trade? Oh, like when to cut it? Is that what you're asking? When to cut the trade? Yeah, okay. Every time before I get into a trade, I know exactly where I'm getting out of the trade if it goes against me. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's before I get into a trade. And it's going to be a little bit different every time depending on how far away I am. CMP, it's so good to see you. You do the same. It's going to be a little bit different every single time. For instance, I was using support on this 1 minute right here at a major level directly above. This is the POC. The POC was not here at this time. But I was using support on the 1 minute. I said to myself before I got into the trade, if we breach that support back to the downside, I have to take myself out of the trade. So there's a little loss there. I mean, not a huge deal, but nevertheless, a loss. So that's why we want to take those trades right around those major levels. So we take the trade at a major level so we can predefine that risk. But always, always, always. So the one you took today, I considered a wrong trade, not red. So you're saying this one was a wrong trade right here? This one at 10 o'clock? I don't consider that a wrong trade. I consider it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. There's a double cross to the upside. It was an uptrending market. It was a double cross to the upside. Yeah, double cross to the upside. If all we can see is this right here, if that's all we can see, okay, so what are we doing? We're moving up on the day. We've got a major level right here, 624.38. We get a double cross to the upside on an otherwise uptrending market. We take that trade. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Only off by 3 or 4%, 3 or 5%. Yeah, not huge, not a big loss. Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it is what it is. It is what, you know, when they move against you, they move harder against you than they move in your favor. So yeah, but yeah, it wasn't a big deal. You consider that wrong. I will challenge you on that. What do you consider? You consider that wrong. I don't. I consider it didn't work out. My edge was there. I only considered it wrong if your edge is not there. If your edge is there, you're not wrong. It just didn't work out. It's just a different perspective. Just a different perspective. You got to, oh, I got out smart. Okay. Yeah, I took myself out when I took myself out. Yep. If you don't, yeah, you're going to get hurt. We've all done it. We've all done it. Red is hoping and wishing. It is. It is. If you don't take yourself out when you predefine your risk, and if you don't take yourself out of that trade, when you hit your level of risk, you get into a situation where you do really, really crazy things like add to losing positions, and yeah. And then you miss the other side. Then that is red. Then that is wrong. I would agree with that. Yep, yep, yep. And we all know, I mean, it's just losing money, that's part of the deal. Hopium. Hopium's a horrible thing. Hopium is a horrible thing. Hey, Vulcan! Hey, thank you, Vulcan. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that very, very much. Seriously, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that very much. Just, yeah, makes so essentially what I'm hearing you saying is if you don't take yourself out of the trade, it's wrong. If you do, is that what you're saying? If you don't take yourself out of the trade, you're wrong? Okay, yeah, okay. When you should, yes. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense, my friend. Absolutely, positively. 100%. By the way, how are your friends? How are your friends doing? Did they make it to their destination? In the I know it's in the Petermobile. Okay, good. I recommend only one entry. Yes, yeah. So Mark, so the question to YouTube land was they're gonna start later. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. We'll be here. The question is, you recommend only one entry when doing the challenge, correct? Yes. Like double cross, fishtail, or first candle. Yes. My recommendation on the specific setup, and again, this is just a recommendation, is when you're doing the challenge, it is the fishtail play. It's the fishtail play exactly at a major level. So here is the why behind it. Because it's the highest expected value of any of the 4 different setups. I mean, it just is. It's got the highest expected value. It doesn't have the highest potential value, but it has the highest expected value. And we can work with expected value. Potential value, that's kind of pie in the sky. But we know what expected value is. So the cool thing about the double cross to the upside or the downside at that major level is you're at a major level. And once you get through both the 9 and the 20, you're getting both the 9 and the 20 out of the way from a support or resistance standpoint. So you're just punching through basically 3 different levels on one specific candle. So, yeah, there you go. That's my recommendation. If you want to make it a fishtail, do it a fishtail. You will have more losers on a fishtail play than you will on a double cross, though. So again, it's just got a higher expected value. Early days, have you played both sides different entry at the same time? I have done that before, Code. I have done that before. I don't play both sides like that now. No, just let them fight it out. It went fine. It's not for me. Yeah, I did it pretty much kind of like as a test. Sometimes you do well, and sometimes you get crushed both ways if the market isn't doing anything. You're going to lose on one of the legs. So you just have to make sure you get enough movement out of the other side of the leg to make up for the leg that you lost. So, yep. All right, who else? What do you got? Any other trades you guys would like to talk about? Yeah, looking forward to the news tomorrow. Well, what do we have tomorrow from a news standpoint? I'm looking. Tomorrow's the 10th. Oh, we got unemployment. Unemployment every Thursday, folks. Unemployment tomorrow morning, 8:30. We got some Fed speakers. That's about it. So unemployment numbers. Jobless. Jobless. Yep, every Thursday, unless it's we had Juneteenth here a few weeks ago, and it was not on Thursday. Juneteenth was on Thursday. Market was closed. So anyway, all right, folks. Who else has a trade you want to talk about? Peter, Jared, Michael, Matt, Lewis, as Mike, D-Dog, Matt, or Mark. What do you got? Anybody have anything? If not, I'm going to bounce. Nothing from me. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Michael. See you in the morning. Okay, guys. That's my cue. Seriously, guys. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate you guys very, 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 very much. You guys are awesome. And as always, I'm very sincere when I say this. If there are things that I can do better, I want everybody to let me know, and you can make it public or private. But if there are things that I can do better, for instance, Matt asked me to do a couple of things. Matt 337. He said, "Hey, would you mind putting your chart pick in at the end of the day?" Not a problem. Takes a few days to make it a habit. Working on that. And he also said, "Hey, would you mind recording them?" There you go. So again, I'm trying to be better every day in everything that I do, folks, and not only trading, but in the community. Anyway, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Have a great rest of the evening. I'm going to shut down the YouTube channel. So before I shut down the YouTube channel, you guys know the rest. If you like our videos, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Share with your friends, your neighbors, all that kind of good stuff. Somebody into trading, we can help them be a better trader. Bottom line, we can. If you are interested in live daily trading, you guys know the thing. The link for that is down below. Our live trading Discord is called 920 Trading. You guys already know what it is. And again, we can make you a better trader. We offer live trading every single day from 9 o'clock in the morning until market closes. So for 7 hours every day. I take a couple of breaks during the day. But that's it. Live trading. We are so convinced you will find value in it. We'll give you that first week for free. So anyway, thanks again, folks. And again, 920trading.com, 920trading.com. That's where all of the information is. So YouTube land. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the evening, and we will see you in the markets.